Hello once again and welcome to MMOFTW for the week of August 13th, 2012. I'm Bill Murphy, managing editor and wannabe web host, and I'll be holding your hand through this little jaunt through the week that was in the MMO world. A bit of drama was bandied about this week, so let's get to the fun part. Blizzard's North American account database was hacked, NMass Entertainment saw some layoffs but also saw their court battle with NCSoft put to rest, Arma 2 mod DayZ is officially getting its own standalone game, officially official, that is, and Rift revealed the first of 4 new souls coming in Storm Legion live on MMORPG.com's Twitch channel. Plus, in our community spotlight, we'll discuss whether the isometric view of old games like Ultima Online or even Diablo 2 is missing from today's games. In the words of Sam Neill, where we're going, you don't need eyes. This is MMOFTW.
I mean, crap, man. Look at that. That's like...
Well, first up, as a part of this week's news roundup, is the somewhat unexpected shocker that Blizzard's North American account system was hacked, causing millions of gamers everywhere to facepalm and change their passwords immediately. According to a statement from Blizzard's own Mike Morhaime, there was no financial information, addresses, or names taken. However, he does state that cryptographically scrambled passwords were taken, and he advised all North American users of Battle.net to change their passwords immediately. Despite the stolen passwords being scrambled, you still have to worry about the fact that somebody could take those and then use them to get into someone's account and sell all their gold. So head over to Battle.net and change that password before your gnome warrior is found in Ironforge naked and by a mailbox. And next up, it's a twofer news on NMass Entertainment's TERA. You see, the company was forced to let go of some staff this week, presumably because the game's retention and earnings were not what they need to be. The always awesome and diligent community manager Evan Scapes Berman was one of the unfortunately pink-slipped folks. If this video comes out and he's still not been rehired by someone else, consider this a vote of confidence in his direction. He's a real mensch. Hire him and be happy, people. Anyway, moving on to more serious news. On the plus side of things, the dispute between TERA and NCSoft has finally come to an end. If you recall, TERA and NMass Entertainment were being sued by NCSoft because of the Bluehole Studios folks supposedly, purportedly, stealing the assets they took with them when leaving the development of Lineage 3, which is completely gone anyway now. Anyway, NMass retains their innocence and NCSoft will move on to Lineage Internal. Nothing to see here, move along, and all that. Next up is the quasi-MMO darling DayZ, which saw an expected but still awesome announcement this week. Dean Rocket Hall's Little Arma 2 mod is officially getting its own standalone game. In the development blog for DayZ, Rocket had this to say. That's right, this is actually happening. DayZ will be developed as a standalone game with me as project lead by Bohemia Interactive. This is a fairy tale outcome for a mod that many would have said impossible 4 months ago. Development and updates of the mod will continue in parallel with the development of the game, so anyone who is playing the mod now will be able to continue to do so. The project will follow the Minecraft development model, fast iterations with the community alpha available for a heavily discounted price. I, for one, along with so many of you, this is me talking, not Dean now, I, for one, along with so many of you, cannot wait to see what's in store. You can keep track of the game's development at www.dayzgame.com. The mod is still available at www.dayzmod.com. It's funny how that works. Last up for the news, but certainly not least, is the announcement of Rift's first new Mage Soul in the upcoming Storm Legion expansion. This past Friday, we hosted the live reveal on MMORPG.com's Twitch channel, and here's a quick basic rundown of the new Soul. The Harbinger is essentially a battle mage who wields magic in an up-and-close and personal fashion. From the Storm Legion website, which it's updated now, this grim weapon master spells doom for enemies in close combat and can work in tandem with other souls to reduce cast times, providing deadly barrages from many range. The Harbinger uses unarmored mobility and future sight to survive in the thick of battle, invoking absorption, self-healing, and avoidance abilities, including invisibility to mitigate damage and set up devastating attacks. He can even call upon an ethereal scythe and hack away at bad guys. They're not tanks, but they have increased survivability and are excellent at dealing single target damage. If you listen carefully, you can hear the cries of nerf already. Head over to MMORPG.com and its own Rift page for the full video. It's actually probably still on the feature feed if you just go right to the homepage right now. So now we move on to our community spotlight for this week, which is back. I'm sorry I skipped it last week. There was just too much to cover in a short period of time. But anyway, this week we're talking about a post from user Grimel, who posts about his long-lost love, dear to his heart, the isometric view. For those of you who are not up and up on this, there was a time when RPGs used a top-down fake 3D viewpoint known as the isometric view. You know, you couldn't 3D render things, so they sort of used this viewpoint and drew things in a way that made it look 3D. The best example in MMO terms would be Ultima Online Classic, and games like Baldur's Gate, Diablo, and Planescape Torment are also perfect representations of the isometric view. Anyway, Grimel grew up playing isometric games, and he feels that the immersion he had in something like Ultima Online was lost when games started going the EverQuest 3D route. How do I feel about it? I feel for Grimel, to be honest. I cut my teeth on the Ultima games, Fallout and Baldur's Gate series, and I remember spending dozens of hours in Arcanum towards the tail end of the isometric era. So I miss those sorts of games too, and wonder if we'll ever really see a revival in the same way we're seeing a 2D resurgence in platformers and, well, all other sorts of 2D games. Why can't the isometric view get a new coat of paint? It can be argued maybe that Diablo 3's closed, locked camera is a throwback to this classic's vantage point, I suppose, but what I really want is a Baldur's Gate sequel, a true Baldur's Gate sequel, with that same old camera view and maybe just improved, crisper, more colorful visuals, made by a company who actually cares about the IP. Anyway, that's enough ranting for me. How do you feel about the isometric view? Do you miss it? Do you think it's better off dead? Was there something to the isometric view that is now missing from today's 3D, flashy, third-person, first-person games? That'll do it for this week, folks. Thanks for watching, and don't forget to follow all of our feeds on Twitch, Facebook, Twitter, and YouTube at MMORPG.com without the dot. I hope you all have a fantastic week ahead, and oh yeah, I think as of this broadcast, it's only 12 more days until Guild Wars 2's head start. That's the 13th to the 25th. I can't wait. As always, don't let a bad pug get you down.